Hello, everyone. This program is airing on Monday, November the 17th, 2025, and you have joined Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. Hello, everyone. My name is Maureen Williams, and I'm the Director of Care Navigation here at Four Seasons, the Care You Trust. And we try to create this space on most Mondays to talk about issues associated with living well and aging well, and perhaps how Four Seasons may be of service. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can call us at 866-466-9734, or you can go to our website, which is fourseasonscare.org. Spell out the number four, FOURSEASONSCARE.org. And I'm also deeply grateful, Four Seasons is deeply grateful to the Van Winkle Law Firm for serving as title sponsor for Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. The Van Winkle Law Firm is one of the most established law firms in North Carolina, and it provides exceptional legal representation to individuals and families on and businesses in personal, commercial, business, and estate planning matters. Should you want to learn more or gather more information or schedule an appointment or consultation, please go to www.vwlawfirm.com. And again, we are so thankful. Well, last week I talked a bit about cognitive impairment disorders, recognizing those, what those look like. And so today I wanted to continue this little series of three that I'm working on right now on cognitive issues and dementia issues and living with that. And I want to share with you a few tips for helping someone living with dementia. This isn't a dementia patient. This is a person, this is a human being, an adult living with dementia. And so we really are challenged to be incredibly supportive, incredibly compassionate, and incredibly patient and understanding of someone living with dementia because it is only going to get worse. So the first tip is to simplify your communications, the tasks. Simplify everything. Speak slowly, deliberately, kindly, with a smile on your face and compassionately. Talk about one thing at a time, just one thing at a time. The person will want to digress, just follow that one thing, and you might have to leave this there, but just follow one thing at a time. Or if the person wants to digress, bring that person back to the one thing. Many times when I'm working with families of clients who are living with dementia, they need to share something with their loved one pretty important. I'll say pick one item, no more than two. Pick one topic, no more than 2 points. Stick to it. The person may diverge, digress. Stick to your points. It's that important. If you share too much information, the person living with dementia simply cannot process it, cannot hold it. And that adds to more confusion and frustration and angst and anger. And realize this, logic does not work. Do not try to reason. Just keep it simple. Logic will not work. Because logic doesn't work with an illogical disease. It just doesn't. Another tip is to let your loved one carry out the tasks. Let your loved one do as much for himself and herself as they possibly can. Don't take away those things. Don't take away picking out clothing. So what if nothing matches? Let them pick out their clothing. Let them wash their dishes. So what if it's not perfect? You can clean it up later. But let the person have the honor, dignity, respect to do the tasks for himself or herself as best as they can. Let them have a chance of feel good about accomplishing an important task. I was with a client yesterday who wanted to wash dishes in her little apartment sink, actually in the bathroom sink. I let her do it. It was far from perfect. And as I would pick them up to dry them, I would clean them a little bit more. She felt very good about having washed her own dishes. It was simple. It was important. Another tip is to use memory aids. For example, it might be important to have a list or make signs or let's see, dry erase boards are really helpful to send messages. Alarm clocks that tell you the date and the day and the time. In fact, this client I was with yesterday said This was the date that you were here. Yes, that's correct. This is the day. So it's really important. This and also to have designated spots for where things are kept. I was with a client in a community where someone has made a big sign that says keys and put a little push pin in the wall, and that's where this client hangs her keys. So she can see to pick up her keys. Another tip is to be in tune to eyesight and hearing changes. Many times, what comes across as advancing dementia is just that the person's not seeing well enough or hearing well enough to comprehend what's being said and certainly not able to process it. As people living with dementia progress through this very illogical disease, their peripheral vision begins to disappear. In fact, the vision starts to come in very close to just right here. And in fact, at some point, it's just right here in the middle. So know that if you think a person's missing what's right in front of them, yes, that might be because of visual changes. That might be associated with the type of dementia, or it just may be something that could be corrected. The same way with hearing issues. Hearing issues can be very isolating and really contribute to confusion. And it may be something as simple as just cleaning the ear out of earwax. I've worked with many clients who, when we've been to the doctor and the doctor's looked in there, in the ears and found a whole bunch of wax that's been pulled out. Well, that really helps clear up people's thinking as well as their hearing and their ability to communicate. Another tip is to show and tell. That is literally show what you're talking about. Use visual cues, visual gestures. If you want to talk about it's time to get a drink, it's time for some water, show the person the bottle of water. He or she will reach for it. They will reach for it. But also make your loved one's living space as free from clutter as possible. Client I'm working with, the community where she lives has worked extensively to remove all the clutter in her room. She likes to hold on to things because she forgets that she's acquired 10 books recently, that all of which she thought she was going to be reading, but she doesn't. It's very important to declutter the space. Use those visual cues and prompts. Point to the red book on the kitchen table. Point to it. Use those prompts. And another great tip, it's always helpful to go down memory lane. I worked with a client. He was a German immigrant after World War II, and he joined the United States Navy. And he had a very successful career as an electric lineman. He had a great life as an immigrant here, and he worked hard and saved hard and wound up having, a good bit of savings. So that as he advanced through life and began to live with dementia, what we found that worked really well for him was a picture book that I had created of the ship that he had been on in the Navy. It was his ship. That's my boat. And he would name the boat and he would point to all the places on it where he would work. I would ask him to tell me a story about climbing up to the top of the mast. He would tell me. Those are wonderful cues, very helpful to pull back the memory that exists, help them have some pleasure from talking about days gone by. And it may be the 17th millionth time you've heard it. It's a beautiful way for that person to feel respected and have a level of dignity. And another huge tip is to practice patience and kindness. Patience is going to be so hard, y'all, to work with someone living with dementia. It's really difficult. But here's what you want to do. You want to focus rather on a task than more on the person's feelings. Be kind. Don't worry about facts. Just apologize for maybe I'm sorry I didn't understand that you were telling me about that dog. It doesn't matter that that wasn't what you thought was being talked about. It was what was important that the person was talking about. And that really calms that down. Or if you see a person who's sad or angry or frustrated, you can say, I'm sorry that was your experience. It really takes it down. But just be more in tune to the person's feelings than facts. And another tip that I found immeasurably helpful. Oh my goodness, this is immeasurably helpful. It comes from the world of validation therapy and Montessori like supported dementia care, and that is to ask permission. Say, may I? So, for example, If you want someone to come to the dining room for dinner, instead of saying, "Come on, it's time to go to dinner," I don't want to go. Or "Come on, it's time to go to watch TV." I don't want to do that. Say, "May I walk with you down the hallway?" Well, sure. If you want somebody to eat something, and you might say, may I help you get your lunch for you today?" Sure. Put it in front of them. "May I put this in front of you?" Asking that, "may I?" Y'all, that is a magical question. It works beautifully. It's a rare thing that I haven't seen it work. And I've been using this tool for 2 or 3 years now. I learned it in a dementia care partner training. It's magical. I'm not kidding you. It's a great tip. And it helps with a lot of the others, with the patients, with the person carrying out the tasks, with the show and tell. Simplifying things. It helps so much. Just asking, "May I?" Ask for permission. Don't say, "Can I?" "May I?" The permission question seems to work so well. And that and simplify are two of my favorite tips to share with you today. And most of these have come from a wonderful article I've read recently from Aging Projects. So I want to give acknowledgement where that came from. So these are just a few tips. Those of you who are living with someone who's living with dementia or caring for someone living with dementia, you have so many more tips. Feel free to drop them into the comments box. Each person is different, but go with some of these great principles, and this will help you too. I hope. I hope. Take a deep breath, most of all. Okay. So I want you to invite you to join me next Monday, November the 24th, the Monday before Thanksgiving, and we're going to talk about the 10 early signs of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. 10 early signs. I've just had a conference meeting with a family whose loved one is definitely showing early signs of dementia, and we've crafted a plan just now. And it's hard to have those conversations, but being aware that something is happening, and better yet, that there's something that can be done about it, that's huge. And there's progress out there. And your loved one deserves good treatment, and you do too. Okay, so join me next week, Monday, November the 24th at noon. We'll talk about that. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, you can call us at 866-466-9734 or go to our website, fourseasonscare.org. And please know that all of our service lines, all of my colleagues in our hospice care, palliative care, home care, and care navigation service lines that I lead, we are ready to help you and your loved one who is living with dementia. It would be a privilege to do so. Thank you and have a great day.